Alright, here's a Viking video update for you. So I'm busy trying to get this bumper sorted onto the Viking. It's still a mission. I just can't bring myself to cut the fender, but I have to cut the fender. So it's taken me quite a while because I just can't bring myself to cut the fender for some stupid reason. But I'm gonna have to cut the fender to fit this bumper. We have got, now obviously we've moved to the C30 chassis. We've gone from a left-hand drive to a right-hand drive. The Cummins is back in. I've now got independent front suspension type setup versus the solid I-beam across. I have still got the same gearbox, same engine setup as before. Nothing has changed there. The only difference, like I say, is now we're busy making it a right-hand drive. As you can see, she's got a new set of seats from a 2008 F250, front and passenger seat with a center seat and a console. Yeah, I'm busy getting ready to mount the pedal box and everything. Just waiting, my welding machine's gone in for repair. But yeah, I'm busy getting ready now to mount the steering column, and we've got hydraulic brake upgrade as well. And then I've got to repair that side of the dashboard there. So yeah, went from left-hand drive to right-hand drive. She did have power steering before, but there was something never very good with it. Every time you turn, it would like lift the cab up. So something was never good with that whole Pitman arm setup and everything. Then when the C30 chassis popped up, it was a little bit long from a motorhome. Shortened it down and then decided to put the Viking onto that. So now, yeah, you can see there is where we shortened the chassis with the Z-cut. Still have to weld it up full, but that's been shortened. The load bed is kind of there. We need to sort out the rest. It's like a power wagon style load bed. And then hopefully if everything goes well during the course of this year, we'll get her done. She's got her new dashboard. This is the old dashboard, but she's got a new dashboard already that's been painted up. I don't know where it is, somewhere around here. And then, like I say, and I was being asked, that's how they joined the cab. They did quite a good job. I don't know who did it or when it was done, but it was joined there like that. And then there's a join here of sorts there. I put this brace here. I'm busy, it's not a final fit yet, but we put that in there because they didn't have anywhere to mount the headliner to, so they drilled the hole straight through the main roof and put a bolt in. It always used to leak water. And if you can see there's the pop rivets, how they did the skin of the roof. So it's got like a weird skin, almost looks like a sunroof at the top. That's how they did it. I don't know. I wanted to take it out, but it's not rusted and it's not leaking, so I thought leave it alone. But yes, there was questions, and there you can see there by the B pillar how they did the joins there of the cab. So all of that is actually hidden under the interior. You don't see it, but it's pretty neatly done. The back windows tend to take water, but that's probably because there's no drip rail, so the water runs straight into the rubber, which is, I suppose, an inevitable thing with this kind of a setup. But yeah, there's a lot of places where we've cut out now, like this here, you know, so that we can clean the rust and stuff. Let me see. And over here, we've cut it and we're treating it with the NS7 and getting in there and gonna fix all these areas now when she gets done. And I have to still do a new firewall tunnel cover. But progress, man. There's definitely progress. I just haven't had time to work on it because we're busy with so much other stuff we're trying to get out, because ever since the fire we've had such a backlog that we're now trying to just push all the other stuff out the way before I get involved in this thing. But we did get the engine, the gearbox, the prop shaft and all that is connected again. So the drivetrain is essentially fitted again on the truck. The cab is fitted in place, and just got to sort that bumper out onto there. And then I've also got I don't know if I'm going to use the orange fuel tank again. I don't know. I've got another fuel tank here that can go between the bed. If I can fit that under the bed, I'm gonna. Otherwise, I'll have to fit that orange fuel tank again, make it a feature. But it eats up a lot of bed space, and I kind of need the bed space.